That was my intention. Thank you very much. Thank you for giving me such a patient hearing. Yes. So, do we have questions?
Yeah, of course.
Anybody?
Everybody has a
About
question.
jnana, bhakti, yoga, whatever. Nothing?
No, you said you spend less time on jnana, but I have some question about jnana.
Sure.
It's obviously, jnana when you quieten the mind or thoughts.
That is yoga. Quietening the mind, there are two ways. One is the path of knowledge and the path of meditation. I'm making a distinction. Usually they are combined, but I'm making a distinction.
Okay.
Yes.
So by yoga also you quieten the mind.
By yoga you quieten the mind.
So obviously we cannot spend so much time meditating in caves our life. But is there a way of quietening the thoughts? You said stop the thoughts. And the yogi stops the thoughts.
Yes.
For us who can't do all those hours of meditation,
Yes.
can we stop the thought in some other way in
Yes.
daily life?
Yes. And the answer I've already given you. You know the answer. Love of God. What will happen there is, then the thought will be about God, about Krishna or Durga or Shiva or whatever, in whichever form your Ishta Devata is. And that thought you don't have to stop. That is a wonderful thought. When the mind is immersed in the thought of God, it's so wonderful. That's one of the criticisms of the Bhakti approach against the Yogic approach. The Yogic approach says, restlessness of the mind is the problem. Make the mind quiet, you will realize that you are the Purusha, pure consciousness, witness. The teacher of Bhakti says, restlessness of the mind is not the problem. That the mind is restless with the world, that is the problem. Make your mind restless with God, it's not a problem at all. It's a divine state. So
there is no thought involved in this then, in bhakti.
Bhakti thought is involved.
The thinking of God
thinking of God is a thought. There are so many thoughts.
So does it go into jnana also? Then it's a thought anyway.
Yes.
It's a thought, and
Yes.
jnana uses thought. They want to
Jnana
stop the
uses
thought.
Bhakti uses thought. Yoga tries to stop the thought. Yoga's chitta vritti nirodha. But what Bhakti says is, tie your thoughts to God. That is the idea. Krishna dancing with thousands of gopis. It's very interesting. I was reading that in a day, we have approximately 16,000 discrete thoughts in a waking day. Approximately. And thoughts may be mostly repetitive patterns of thinking. And in the stories, there are 16,000 gopis. They're all dancing with Krishna. Now, you make the series of thoughts throughout the day about God. Then let the thoughts dance. No problem at all. It's a joy. That's a powerful way of controlling the mind. The yogic way of controlling the mind is tough.
So this becomes a kind of, this also is a passion then. It's
Yes.
not a one thought. When the thought becomes so powerful and is a continuous,
Yes.
then it becomes a passion. Like you said, now you have to have a passion for jnana yoga. The fourth qualification is, you have to have a passion for jnana.
Yeah.
So in a way, this thought also is a passion for bhakti or
In bhakti, the passions are directed towards God. Passions are there. In all of us, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, they're all there. But they're flowing towards the world. You take it and direct it towards God. That's bhakti. Same force, the same power will be used. One Swami said, हम में तीन धारा है, the three streams which flow through every human being. ज्ञान धारा, कर्म धारा, और भाव धारा. Gyan dhara means what you know, the stream of knowledge, what you know. You studied engineering or medicine or something, you have a body of knowledge. Karma dhara, what you do in life. You're a homemaker, you're a dentist, you are a corporate lawyer or something. So that's karma dhara, the stream of your activities. And bhava dhara. Bhava means internally, what are you attuned towards, what you really want. That is bhava. And that sadhu was telling us, what you do in life and what you know, I am not interested in that. तुम्हारे कर्म और ज्ञान में हमको कोई दिलचस्पी नहीं. भाव क्या है बताओ. Tell me what you really want from inside. And then he gave us an example. He said a priest in a temple. So he has memorized lots of Sanskrit verses, and so his karmadhara, his jnanadhara, a lot of religious knowledge he has got. And what is his work? Whole day the work is religious work. He does puja, makes garlands for the deity and all throughout religious work. But internally he is thinking, today many devotees will come, they will give so much money there. With that money I shall repair the roof of my house and I will send my son to an English medium school. Then he says, his bhava is towards samsara. Bhava is towards samsara. That sadhu told us, bhav samsar ki or hai, samsar ko hi prapt hoga. What will he get ultimately? Though all his learning is about religion, all his work is about religion, but because all the internal directions towards samsara, ultimately what will be the result? Samsara. And the opposite, I know one example. In Jairambati, Holy Mother's birthplace, there was this, what Swami told me, he has seen this old person used to come, he was a sweeper. When he could not do the work anymore, they told him, the Swamis in the ashram told him, you need not come, stay at home, we will send you your pension. And that old man said, no, I am not doing this for money. Listen, many years ago, when I was a little boy, I used to come to this ashram, and that lady was there, Holy Mother. She would sit here. I would see many people coming from different, from big city, Calcutta, and the monks would come, and the big babus from Calcutta would come, and they would take mantra diksha from initiation from the mother, and many of them would get visions of God. So many wonderful things would happen. So one day I went and asked, he was a very poor kid. He went and asked Holy Mother. He said, I went and asked her, Amar kichu habe na, I will not get anything. He asked very shyly. And she told me, you will habe na, why not? You are doing work here, you will definitely get everything. Keep on doing what you are doing. That's all her instruction was. So from that day till today, I have been sweeping the temple because of her. I think she's there. So I am doing it for her. I am not doing it for your money. And the story ended so beautifully. One day he did not come anymore. His daughter came and was working. The Swamis asked, what happened to your father? Who is very sick and he's dying, he cannot come anymore. So they said, okay, we'll go and see. The Swamis went to the hut of that poor man. And they saw he was about to pass away. And his passing away was glorious. He says before passing away, Mother, you have come, you have not forgotten me. So, you see, bhavadhara. What my thoughts are about. What I want in life. Questions?
The individual thought is so powerful in this case.
Yes.
It's a kind of a theoretical question. Now, we are 7 billion people or more. Collectively, there are groups, and if they think in a way negative thinking, and then the groups positive thinking, will they collectively have precipitate any action in this world?
Well, I don't know exactly what to say to that, but one point that comes out of that is the company is very important. In Narada Bhakti Sutra, satsanga is stressed again and again. And positively seek out the company of saints and holy people, religious people. If you cannot keep company of God through bhajans and nowadays music you can play, reading the lives of saints, so your mind is kept at that plane, in the plane of positive thought vibrations. Because negative thought vibrations are very powerful and they're all around you. There is a sutra in Narada Bhakti Sutra which says, if negative tendencies are there in me, a ripple is there, they become a huge wave in the company of such people. It may just be a small tendency in me, but such people who have those same negative tendencies, if I spend time in their company, then that little ripple in me will become a huge wave. So one must avoid that kind of company and keep the company of like-minded people. What you're doing here, for example, you have a certain similar tendency. You're all different, but you have a certain quest. Otherwise, why would you come and spend time like this? So, this kind of company is useful.
Maharaj, you mentioned Nityasa, which is Vedantic meditation.
Vedantic meditation.
As opposed to, what is the difference between that and yogic, Patanjali meditation?
Oh, there's a big difference. Vedantic meditation and yogic meditation is a difference. Vedantic meditation is by listening to these truths that I am Brahman, by studying the Upanishads, Vedanta, by clearing up all the doubts through the process of manana, Shravana Manana, I come to a conclusion, this is true. I begin to get it, that I am the unchanging witness consciousness. In all my experiences, I am an unchanging consciousness. I begin to get it. Once I begin to get it, the next step is to dwell on that conviction again and again, keep my mind there so that it becomes a living reality for me, not just an idea. That is Vedantic meditation. Basically, to dwell on that teaching again and again, to stick with that. That's called Vedantic meditation. Different from this is the yogic meditation, which wants to make thinking cease altogether. Quietening the mind. Here you cannot quieten the mind, you have to use the mind. You're intensely thinking about one thing, that is, I am that Brahman. Whereas in yogic meditation, there might be focus, but the focus on one thing, but the aim is not to think about one thing, aim is to stop that. Chitta vritti nirodha, the cessation of the modifications of the mind, that is yogic meditation. There is a fundamental difference. So yogic meditation, for example, practically, it's possible only when you're sitting in yogic and calmly and withdrawn from the world. Vedantic meditation, you need not withdraw from the world. One sloka we chant in all our ashrams, usually it is chanted before food. Brahma arpanam brahmavi, Brahma arno brahmanautam, Brahmeva tena gantavyam, Brahma karma samadhina. Imagine a yajna, the fire sacrifice. The ladle with which you are offering the ghee in the fire, that ladle is Brahman. The offering into the fire is Brahman. The fire is Brahman. The one who is offering is Brahman. The one who sees Brahman in every action will attain Brahman. Remember, where will you see Brahman? In action itself, not by withdrawing from action. People you are interacting with. Swami Vivekananda says, never approach anybody, never approach anything except as God. Look at the words, approach, that means you are in active life. People you are dealing with, the situations you are dealing with, you must understand them to be Brahman. That is Vedantic. Vedantic meditation can also be accomplished by sitting quietly and diving deep into that conviction. But yogic meditation can only be accomplished by withdrawing from the world and sitting in asana and meditating. You cannot do yogic meditation while walking around. Driving a car or something, you stop thinking. You can't withdraw.
So the Vedantic meditation and the yogic meditation both go to the same result, ultimately the result, attain the same result.
Not only Vedantic, yogic, but also Bhakti. All of them go to the same reality. One you are approaching by concentrating the mind, one you are approaching through intellectual powers, one you are approaching through your emotion, love, through the heart. We say that, though there are philosophical differences.
But in truth, Bhakti Maharaj, will the duality sense ever go?
Yes, it does. I become one with my Lord. But the Bhakta would always like to maintain a difference between the lover and the beloved, so that I enjoy the Bhakti. If I lose all sense of distinction between myself and the beloved, then how can you enjoy Bhakti? So they say, I want to taste sugar, I don't want to become sugar. So Ramakrishna asked Narendranath that suppose you are a little fly and there is a bowl of Amrita, nectar. How will you sip? How will you enjoy that nectar? He said, I will sit on the edge very carefully and extend for a little and sip so that I don't fall into it, otherwise I drown. And Sri Ramakrishna said, this bowl is of nectar of immortality. If you go into that, you will not die. You will become immortal. But the Bhakta always wants to be a little different so that one can. Bhakta even goes to the extent of saying, I don't want mukti, moksha. Let me be born again and again so that I can serve the Lord. Even to the extent Let me be born again and again in different bodies to entertain my Lord. All the comedy that I do in my life, the stupidity, the Lord is sitting and enjoying and laughing at all my foolishness and stupidity. And so let me do that again and again so that it will entertain my Lord. Alright.
So Swamiji, how do you reach to that level of perfection and freedom through this path of bhakti?
Through love of God, the practice is love of God and the end is also love of God. It's very interesting. Sri Ramakrishna in the Gospel, aim of human life. He has said God realization is the aim of human life. He has said Gyan love, getting Brahma Gyan is the aim of human life. Bhakti love, he has said getting love of God is the aim of human life. Strangely, he has never ever said Samadhi is the aim of human life. Though one of the most attractive things about Ramakrishna, if you read the Gospel, is every day he is going to Samadhi, more Samadhi. And people are attracted to that. How to get that Samadhi? He never says that. He does not stress that. Yes, in one or two places he said Samadhi is important, but he never says it is the goal of life. But he has said Bhakti is the goal of life. Love of God can be the goal of life. Jnana can be the goal of life. So just understand. Alright.